Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the $50 million SaveDroid ICO scam update. And so yesterday, there was a lot of media attention. It was all over the internet that there was a $50 million SaveDroid ICO exit scam. And it showed the CEO here, Yasin Hankir, saying, "Thanks, guys, over and out," at an airport. And then a picture on an Egyptian beach. So today it was released that it was a PR stunt. So yesterday I made a video on this and I said it was going to be one of two things. It was either going to be an actual exit scam, which I found it slightly unlikely that that was going to be the case since he used his real face and showed pictures of himself and all that stuff. I just kind of doubt that somebody would do that in that way, but we've seen stranger things in crypto. And then two, it was going to be a PR stunt. So, you know, this was going to be media attention all over the place. It was going to get the SaveDroid name out there. And sure enough, it was a PR scam. And so he made a video saying, "And it's not gone." In the video, he says that, you know, it wasn't real. It was just, it wasn't really meant to be a joke or hurt anybody or cause any harm. That it was supposed to be some valuable insight into the fact that ICOs can do this very, very easily and do this all the time. I think at least once a week we have some kind of ICO scam running away with like millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in the video, he explains that there should be some kind of tighter regulations on ICOs and that ICOs should be more responsible in how they operate so we don't get these ICO scams all the time. So you guys can check out this video if you want. It's from SaveDroid AG on YouTube. It's just called "And It's Not Gone." It doesn't really go into too much detail about it or anything like that, but it just basically goes into sort of responsible business practices when it comes to ICOs and things like that. So it was just a PR scam. PR stunt, rather, so not an actual exit scam. You know, like I said, I really didn't think that it was, but it could have been one of two things. Again, we've seen crazier things in crypto happen in the past few years, so it wouldn't surprise me that if it was an exit scam, it just wouldn't. I would just be like, well, that's another day in crypto sort of thing. But it did look like a PR stunt by the way everything was going, him taking a picture of his face, and a picture of him on an Egyptian beach, and we don't even know if this is him or not. I actually kind of looked at these two photos to see if the thumbs and such were the same, but I couldn't really tell. Not a thumb expert, so just a PR stunt. So let's go ahead and load up all these. We've got a few news articles for the day. Not too much happening in crypto today. We've seen a little resurgence in price. We're up just a little bit on most coins, so that's pretty good. So the Craigslist of crypto is making millions where Bitcoin is needed most. So 27 million, that's how much revenue local Bitcoins is now generating annually off a business that started back in 2011, all with an investment of just a few $1,000s. One of the longest running and most controversial Bitcoin companies, the decidedly lo-fi website, now has roughly 20 employees worldwide and 4 million registered accounts. Wow, 20 employees, holy cow. For a revenue of 27 million. That's it's a borderline record. And reflecting the global tide, 40% of those users have signed up in the last 6 months. All that is according to Nicholas Kangos, the CEO of the company, who started the venture with his brother Jeremias at the same time when there weren't many options outside of meeting up to face-to-face to trade Bitcoin. But the online portal continues to thrive even as the landscape of polished VC-backed exchanges does mature. So sure, the peer-to-peer marketplace accounts for only a sliver of the worldwide Bitcoin trading. Last week, it handled 62 million in trades, according to CoinDance estimates. This may be less than top 20 exchanges does in a day, but the service is gaining traction in markets that are generally overlooked by mainstream providers. So we are the most global platform out there, Kangos said. Our goal is to improve the global trade possibilities to serve people who have limited access to financial services. So local Bitcoin's kind of like a Craigslist for Bitcoins. So that's pretty interesting that, you know, it's starting to get much, much larger. It started in 2011 when really not that many people were into Bitcoin. I mean, 2011 it was barely starting to mature, you know, particularly 2010. But 2011 was sort of the, you know, the golden year where it really kind of slowly started to take off. 2010, everything, you know, there was Bitcoin for 30 cents. I remember watching a video one time, not that long ago, it was about a month ago or something like that. And what it is a how to buy Bitcoin with PayPal, and it was made in 2010. and the person just makes a video on it, a how-to, and for the how-to tutorial, he just buys like $3 in Bitcoin, and that got him 10 Bitcoin. It cost him a total of like $3.38 including fees for the PayPal and for the convenience service or whatever. So $3.38 for 10 Bitcoin. It was almost actually infuriating to watch, because if I would have been back then, if I could just have a time machine, go back to 30 cents Bitcoin, I would buy thousands of dollars. I would pretty much be like, hey, I would have to tell my wife, hey, we're selling the car, we're selling the motorcycle, we're selling pretty much everything you own, just gather it up in a big pile, and we're going to have a garage sale out front. We're going to go bankrupt, but it's going to be okay, because I'm going to go in my time machine, and then everything will just change, even though the Kardashev Novikov self-consistency principle wouldn't allow that. Anyway, time travel, we'll throw that out there. So, you know, this came about in a time when there wasn't that many exchanges, and you kind of had to go online and get a hold of somebody to, you know, trade your Bitcoin. So not always easy, and that basic problem was more apparent in 2011 when the brothers first started in on the idea. So Nicholas, a Finnish programmer, was fascinated by Bitcoin, a new stateless currency meant to take away the power of the banks and maybe even governments, but every website he went to that provided services for Finnish buyers was awful, in that it was hard to use. The Kangas brothers wanted to change that, so having saved up a year's worth of living expenses with a few $1,000s to spend on the server fees, the brothers launched Local Bitcoins. Yet the journey of Local Bitcoins hasn't always been easy. The company's tested several products over the years, including a merchant billing service in 2014, but none of those gained traction like its bread and butter peer-to-peer exchange. On top of that, Local Bitcoins was the platform in the middle of more than half a dozen criminal cases associated with local Bitcoin traders. For instance, last year, the U.S. Department of Justice sentenced a father-son duo of local Bitcoin users, Michael and Randall Laura, to several years in prison for operating unlicensed money transmission businesses. And Reddit is full of testimonies about scammers and hackers exploiting inexperienced Local Bitcoins as users. And I think that's why most people don't use Local Bitcoins, because, you know, I mean, you're going to send them Bitcoin and supposedly they're going to send you. And again, hacker and exploiters, they're everywhere. So Nicholas said the team is very concerned about criminal activity on the site and cooperates with authorities to investigate any crimes that use the platform. Yet, just like Craigslist horror stories haven't stopped people from using the internet marketplace, instances like the connected to Local Bitcoins haven't slowed the platform's usage. In fact, $27.2 million in revenue from Local Bitcoins took in last year was more than triple its profits in 2016, which makes a lot of sense. Even with Bitcoin's price dip after December highs close to 20,000 a coin, Nicholas said trading volume continues to grow. So, you know, if you can't get a hold of an exchange, Local Bitcoins, I suppose, but be careful how you do that. So Walmart wants to store payment data on a blockchain. So sooner or later, I believe that Walmart, Amazon, Target, all these big department stores are going to start using cryptocurrencies sooner or later. Whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, somewhere down the line, it's going to happen with one currency or another. So newly published patent filings from retail giant Walmart hint at a plan to store payment data using blockchain tech. The two applications published on Thursday by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office both reference using a blockchain-powered platform to secure the payment data, ensuring that private information can't be accessed by unauthorized parties. The same Walmart team drafted both applications, which were initially submitted on October 13th of last year, and I think I do remember reading about that. While neither filing explicitly references using a permission blockchain, the system as described would effectively operate as such. So both applications specify that customers must be able to see their payment histories, but that third parties need to be restricted from this degree of access. So the first patent filing, which describes a vendor payment system, proposes creating a network that's able to automatically conduct transactions on a customer's behalf. And the payments would be received by one or more vendors depending on what services are provided and who provided these services, according to the document. So the second application focuses on digital shopping systems and describes using a blockchain to encrypt payment information in a similar fashion. As the filing notes, one part of the vendor payment sharing system also includes an authentication system for valuable digitized items. In an exemplary embodiment, the authentication system utilizes one or more aspects of conventional blockchain systems. So I don't think they're going to have a coin. They might have a coin that will deal with this, and if they do, I'll probably be investing into Walmart's coin. Just saying. You know, not that, I'm not that big of a fan of Walmart and big department stores in general, because sometimes they kind of, well, it's particularly when they're in very small towns, they kind of eat the whole town alive. Trust me, I'm from small towns originally. Not anymore. I'm in a very large city. But I used to be from small towns, and, you know, we used to have all these mom and pop stores. It's really true. Those stories about mom and pop stores are really true. Like, they're all over the place, and you'll have a plaza with a bunch, and then it comes in a Walmart. Everybody's really excited for it, but the one thing people miss is that all the stores around them go out of business, and you know, then those people are sort of forced to work at Walmart for minimum wage and make a 25-cent raise every year, and you know, for forever basically live in poverty and below the you know, actual inflation numbers. So you know, not a fan of that. But if it did have a coin, it would probably go up in price, probably be good to buy. So keep an eye on that. You know, no word of a coin just yet, but they are talking about blockchain, so we'll have to see. So no, Mt. Gox's CEO is going to have a new job. So Mark Karpelès, ex-CEO of Mt. Gox Exchange, and often vying for the spot of the least favorite person in the crypto community, has found it not very easy to keep a job when you're considered a villain after losing 850,000 bitcoins. Although 200,000 of those bitcoins ended up surfacing somehow, and the rest is believed to have been stolen by hackers, this didn't help Karpelès. The fact that he's still in the middle of a lawsuit for charges of embezzlement, manipulation of electronic data, and breach of trust. Job prospects would seem grim for anyone else. However, Karpelès' LinkedIn profile now lists the position of new CTO of London Trust Media, a Denver-based company that boasts the world's largest paid virtual private network service and is investing in cryptocurrency projects. Karpelès confirmed this to Fortune in a written message after a bit of nudging. His new employer hasn't been so shy with broadcasting the news. Andrew Lee, co-founder, chairman, and chief of lab division at London Trust Media, said for Fortune, Mark fought and fell, and although he fell, his skills, experience, and know-how unarguably continue to exist. I'm willing to give him a second chance. So Mark Karpelès going to be working for a VPN. So get ready for a huge VPN hack sooner or later. Get it? Because the Gox, yeah. So I can't stand this guy's face. I don't know why. I really can't stand his face. And then when you hear him talk, it gets even worse. Very thick French accent, and you know, nothing wrong with France itself, but I can't stand the French accent. It's just, oof. It's very pompous. More pompous than like an Englishman. So that's going pretty far. So the winner of the day, Monaco, and the loser of the day, Smart Cash, is in fact the 100 top coin exactly. So you can see, you know, everything's going up pretty good, not too bad. Litecoin is up by 4%. You can see all the charts going on up. So this is good. So I kind of want to check out Vergecoin and see what its price is at currently. So it is going up since we'll go to the one-day chart here, and it is going up from 6 cents and now is 7.3 cents. So you know, I don't really think that's attributed to the whole Pornhub you know, partnership. With their partnership, it's just not a very good partnership. I believe that it's a nice step forward in the crypto community in order to partner up with various corporations and major websites and things like that. That's all good, but what I'm just saying here is, to put it in a nutshell, it's to actually buy a subscription on one of these websites that they partnered with. You just pull out a credit card, right? And if you actually want to buy the subscription, but actually nobody actually buys a subscription anyway. Like, nobody I have ever known or have ever talked to or probably will ever talk to actually has a subscription on one of these sites. Why would you do that? I mean, that whole industry, you've been able to just Google it for 20 years. You know, and find whatever you want without actually having to pay for it. So it doesn't make sense in that end. But let's say you are going to pay for a subscription. You pull out your credit card, you punch in the numbers, boom, you're done, right? But now, if you want to pay with Verge, and let's say you don't actually know what Verge is or cryptocurrency is, you're not really into it, you've never bought it, that's okay. So you're like, okay, well, I can spend Verge, so you'd have to go and get a wallet, and you have to research the time to get the wallet. Then you'd have to buy Verge somehow. You have to either go on some exchange or get Bitcoin first and then transfer it to an exchange to transfer it to Verge. Most people would end up losing some money in those transfer fees, and they wouldn't understand where that money went and why they initially bought $60, but now they have $55 because of all these fees. And then pay one of these partners with Verge, confirm the transaction, confirm it in their email. Why would you go through those extra long steps? It just doesn't make sense. So, you know, we have a lot more innovation to do in the crypto world and how you make payments, and they need to be a lot easier for the masses. Somebody like myself, somebody like likely my viewers now, totally know how to use a wallet, totally know how to buy Verge. That's fine, but honestly, we are a minority in that sense of people that worldwide that might be buying subscriptions on these websites. Why go through the process of getting Verge when you could just use your credit card? It doesn't make sense. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.